Welcome everyone. We will talk about pillars of organizational success in this presentation. So basically, what are the foundation forces for an organization to become a force to reckon with? The organizational success pillar. Organization becomes successful if it can cultivate or at least implement or install a center of excellences thereby. So let us understand what is organizational success. The agenda would be very simple and so on and so forth. I'm trying to go around with 17 odd slides that with this presentation that comes around it. Uh, it tells you about the keys to successful organizations, the standardization, the leveraging of assets, the measuring of performances, guidance, governances, and the balance and subject matter expert as goes around it. So this is what we look for organizational excellence. Remember, get on the path of excellence is that we look into the final slide where when I'll say it part away with you. So this is how it will flow around here, right? So what exactly is organizational success? Remember, at certain point, anybody and everybody of the company would want to develop a center of excellence because that means it is a core competencies. It's a unique competitive advantages that nobody becomes is able to replicate. The Brio centricism that comes around it. So definitely, this is what we are looking. So we have all you would have come across with VRIO, VRIO. It's all about the questioning framework of value, rarity, imitability in organizations. Now, as in for success of an organization, can we build a center of excellence? Remember the priorities of center of excellence spans over different areas, or should I say a number of areas with different sponsors. And organizational success is ensured even with a small team of people who can become our pillars altogether, individuals who can manage these common central points, separate the functional areas that it support with it. I am trying to install something called a unique competencies, something which is to be consumed on a rarity of an options as far as Rio is concerned. Let us proceed with it. The center of excellence is how do we go with a small team who can manage such things? It will provide thought leadership, directions, establishing and promoting the best practices as the case might be. That is what we are looking for is the R&D, the research and development and the support and education that comes every now and then with the process. If we can build upon it and if we can let it known, I am sure most of us will understand what makes an organization clicks. This the small group of people is just been given as an image for you to understand. In addition to the co-focus group, the Center of Excellence can also contribute by optimizing organization or practicing by centralizing resources with high demand, unique knowledge or skills, streamlining their contribution across a wide variety of areas, improving return on investment through identification and development of reusable assets, reduce delivery times, development, maintenance costs by increasing efficiencies and leveraging reusable assets. Let us understand, let us identify, let us remove duplications of effort across initiative. Developing and maintaining the catalog of reusable assets will add to tremendously on the and the tangible values thereby. How we come across it. Organizational success is technical development standards, performance indicators, industry proven practices and trend, business process optimizations is what we look into it. Let us come forward. Let us understand what is an organizational success. An organization can manage success, can replicate success, can enhance success through certain technical development board, through certain performance indicator which will determine they are on the right course. Now if we can maintain something called an industry specific matrix or industry specific trends or metrics, thereby if we can have it out here, the organization success become much more legible. Yes, we need to optimize our business processes thereby. Now let me tell it to the keys of organizational success. As a key to success, every organization should have a clearly concise, definitive states of principle that will provide directions, that will provide focus. And I am giving you five areas on which an organization's success can be going on around it. This is the pillars of organization success. One is that of standardization. Second is leveraging assets. Third is measuring performance. The fourth one is guidance and probably governance, the transparency issues, and balance and subject matter expertise. Let me give it to you one by one, all these five pillars in the remaining part of my presentations towards you. Standardization. Remember, as a core, the main purpose of Center of Excellence is to define, probably develop standards and the best practices. This includes documenting, template, blueprint, and repeatable process. Now, what are we looking into it? We are trying to manage the estimating the level of effort, the human hours, the machine hours, the productivity issues. We need to standardize everything, the quality assurance, the testing, the validation, and the technical architecture maintenance. Performance monitoring and optimization, program coding, general project and resource planning. These best practices should consist a blend of documented and generally accepted industry standards, along with the Center of Excellence's own practical experiences and successes. Prioritizing to begin with the most significant and ubiquitous work all around, as the case might be. We need to understand everything now and then. The product should be reviewed by the Center of Excellence team. And how do we solve any issues? If there are any issues, how do we solve around it? Believe me or not, once you have established those standards, once you have fixated the processes, once we have understood who are the key person, key duties, key responsible things that needs to be taken care of, almost standardizations eliminates all possible sources of conflicts and disputes altogether. We work as a team, and that is the biggest strength of standardization. Let us move into the next aspect as a leveraging assets. These are the next pillars altogether. Altogether, the organizational success team should strive. I remember I am saying should strive to identify all usable assets, no matter how small they are, no matter how insignificant they are. These assets can be physical, can be intellectual, and usually are to be clubbed under four points in the sense of human assets. Your employees are the biggest asset. In fact, the asset that cannot be replaced is the intellectual capital that your employee bring it onto the table. They have the specific knowledge sets, they understand the processes very clearly. These are the people who will demonstrate the success parameters altogether in their sleeves. Next is all the relationships. The relationship is how one person relates to another person as a team member. When I talk about relationship, we are not only talking about employees as a team member wherein they are going to build the camaraderie among themselves, but why not have a relationship with the external people also, as in your vendor, as in your customer, as the case might be. If we can forge a strong bond, it is going to pay a rich dividend for the organization successes. Next is being code. It includes the actual program code, the models, the module, the design, the patterns, the algorithms. Everything is expressed in a code. Everything is codified and told specifically. This will be the basis of repeatable, consistent coding practice throughout the organization, which will ensure your products, no matter on which time, which specific period of production shift that you are producing it out, will be almost identical to the to whatever product that have been produced earlier times, or will be produced maybe 10 days from today, 10 years from today. They will be identical if we have those coded and we are following the process minutely. Last but not the least are the artifacts. These are the document describing the policies, the guidelines, the advices and industry best practices, organization best practices, constraint and consideration. Additional artifacts include documented result per se, thereby identify. Let us understand some of these assets may be obviously very easy to recognize, while others may not be. These assets, whether intellectual or physical, must be harvested, must be cultivated, must be cultured, must be developed, must be protected within the organization for being unique and meaningful, be branded and be introduced. If possible, intellectual property rights should be applied on towards them so that nobody can reflect it. Remember, I have been saying about the Rio concept of valuable, reliability, immutability, and organization. These assets will play a key role in simplifying and improving the efforts, thereby, as the case might be. Let us come to the third pillars of measuring performances. Anything that can be measured. Remember that other things can be managed. And what else can we do about success? If we can start measuring success, the center of excellence must develop the ability to track, measure, and report performance of the team initiative in all aspects, everything. This is critical to the growth and evolutions of the organization success. This is will make it transparent to all the stakeholders, be it in the organization, particularly to the upper management. Upper management, all measures relies on having established baselines against which they can compare their performances. Remember, the internal stakeholders, the organization should sustain service levels agreement, SLAs, as I say, to define clearly and concisely what targets and what are the thresholds that are used to be successful. These are the things that we need to come about with the performance measurement. We are in, to ensure that things are going on the right way, how we demonstrate our customers, the stakeholders, the SLAs, the service level agreement should be transparent for everyone. Measuring performances allows the organizations to re-engineer its weak spots, probably strengthen their positive things, positive the core ambiences altogether. They can do this by focusing on the quality. They can do it by focusing on their funding and supporting or at least building a wonderful human resource business partner as the case might be. Let me give you a brief milestones as what to we do around it. Measuring success allows what you are doing and what you should be doing in actualities. So establishing and maintaining a roadmap is very much the requirement of the day. We need to have the following questions where to we answer with. Where did we begin with? The first question that comes around with the team. And what were your major accomplishment? Similarly, if you have some accomplishment, do you have any disappointment? And highlight only the major disappointment. Anyway, then where are we now? So, where did we begin? Where are we now? What was the in between, accomplishment or disappointment? And where are we going to be based on the objectivity of the organization? Let's say, are we able to fund our resources? Are we have the requisite technical manpower? Or do we have the requisite technology? And what, in short, should be our plan for 1 year basis, 5 year basis, 10 year basis? On this parameters we can measure our success. The fourth pillar is all about guidance and governance. Remember to provide wonderful opportunities. The involvement of individual organizations should be based on factors which include the level of complexity of the planned work, the level of success for that organization had a similar work, and the resource availability. Herein, the guidance and governance comes from the top management, how well they do about it in the general approach, the structure, the styles, and the effort. The organizational success should possess the ability to not only guide and suggest but also to govern the work. This means that the organization should be positioned itself as an authority entity and will have a deciding vote on any or all significant development, methodology, or decisions. It is important for the project managers to understand that the COA's involvement in an organization work will not include any or actual development activities as the case might be. Let me come to the final pillar of organizational success, that is of subject matter expert and the balance that they bring in. When establishing an organization, or should I say organization center of excellence, it is reasonable to expect expect that most team members will be appropriately balanced when it comes to experiences and skill level. The result in which are under or overutilization of specific team members and the subsequent decrease in the effectiveness of the team members as well. Remember to establish the balance of team utilization, effectiveness, happiness, team competency charts should be established and maintained. Remember, that is what we are looking to detail each team member functionalities and the technical capabilities thereby. Yes, it is true, the subject matter expert will be the domain of organizational excellence. This will be part of your core competence. It will be a sustainable competitive advantages that comes around it, which can be leveraged when and as on when basis based on specific skills and experiences. So SMEs can be an industry expert from within or outside the organization, or could be a member of Center of Excellences thereby. SMEs will support, service, advise, and consult the organization. When I say SMEs, a subject matter expert, they are the person who would be the think tank of the organization because it is based on their feedback, their constructive feedback and approval. The project will do go well as well as directed. Inviting a subject matter expert into an organization is what are the criteria that needs to be taken care for. The subject matter expert should have a broad expertise on a specific market or specific technologies or specific business segment and looked into it. So they should be at least an expert on a particular domain, willing to be enthusiastic about the opportunity to share their expertise with others, routinely catalogs knowledge, expertise for easy access by others, significantly contributes to the development of new material such as white papers, seminars, any things that comes around it in the similar content, actively seeks to remain updated on the current and emerging industries trend, network with the industry leaders, identify opportunities to publicize and market their areas of expertise, has an established and active online presence with their area. How do we go across with it, what actually happens, and so on and so forth. This is what we are looking for it every now and then. So many current or probably potential subject matter expertise will most likely already exist within an organization, but in many cases they will need to be identified, acknowledged, nurtured by the center of excellences leaders or the top management in order to leverage the values and potential of their contribution. Let me come to the final slide for this presentation. Get on to the path of excellence. Remember, the pillars for organizational success, as the case might be, is all to be based on organization needs, the industry resources, and the level of maturity within their technical and functional space. Some may begin as an informal or self-elected bodies comprising of experienced and knowledgeable personnel. Over a period of time, it has been found that organizational success evolves and it becomes more formalized and institutionalized over a period of time, which with an approved authorities extending or supporting their scope of operation altogether. Remember, while the road of success for organizational success may be looking a little bit different across different organizations, but essentially they are fundamentally same as we've been discussed with the five pillars that I've mentioned in front of you. With these few words, I would love to wind up this presentation. Thank you for watching this video.